Well,
And that's the
sometimes
problem.
so sometimes people don't even know what they want until they find what they need. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You ever met somebody, you're like, damn, I didn't even know I needed him. Like he was like, and then you always be like, because they filled a spot that you just didn't even know. And I think that's what happens in a lot of these spaces when you talk to married men and they've been married and they've had wives, true wives. They can never. The guy who's never had a wife, he has no clue to what a wife can do for you because he just it's nothing that this guy can say. Well, he can't kind of say this. My wife be doing this. You know what I'm saying? She's superwoman, right? But as to a single guy, he's like he ain't gonna never know until he experiences whatever that is the experience is. So what I'm saying to you is a lot of times what's happening is a lot of people, if you've never experienced it, it's kind of hard to even figure out. You may think you got it all set, right? You may think you king of the world, and then that chick come in and change your life. She done organize your life. You like, damn, I didn't even know I was this organized. It's like she just then came in and now you can't live without her. She brought value to your life. That's what they say. They like to say you bring value to a man's life. So I think that sometimes that is a situation too. And the same thing with women. Man comes and you like, I got this. I'm Miss Independent, and this man just shows up and shows out. And you like, well, damn, there it is. So it's great to have a little list and everything, a little checklist, but I don't be thinking them things be working for real, for real. Now you got your base, you gotta have a baseline. You gotta have a if you ain't bare minimum. But I think you can't be homeless now. Shit.
I did want to say something too, because about that list that you was talking about. Whenever you ask a child what it is that they want for Christmas, they put everything down on there. The same thing with adults; they put everything down on there, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they deserve it. So they might not even qualify for it, even though they have these expectations and have the ultimate list. Sometimes those people that you are checking for may not be checking for you. So you got to kind of keep that in mind as well. And then also too, and people don't really know what they need in life in general. People are not self-aware. So when you are saying that people need to work on being with somebody that compliments them, well, first they have to be self-aware before they can even get to that stage of understanding what they need. And a lot of times people don't find out what they need until they are in a relationship, or if they've gone through failure, um, breakups, and then they start to understand what it is that they really need. Because I mean, typically people have patterns, and they keep repeating um, the same things that got them in the situation. They keep repeating it, and then they got to want to change as well. So you just got so many different dynamics that's playing against them, and some people never learn. And those are the people that don't listen, and they hop in these relationships, and they even get married and thinking marriage is gonna fix everything. You got to fix yourself first, and it may not even be with that individual. You probably got to go way back to wherever, like, you stumbled at. Could have been with your parents, could have been with your father, your mother. It could have been a past relationship. So I don't think people are just self aware enough to really know what it is that they need. So I think it has to start there, and then I think you can build relationships. If people have problems with their female friends and their male friends, will make you think that they're gonna uh, be able to deal with somebody that's the opposite sex. So those are just my 2 cents on it.
I like when you actually give feedback, JR, because a lot of times what you say is very thought provoking and insightful. You need to do it more often. You
Uh,
always be trying to lay back in the cut.
I appreciate it. It's really just trying to kind of gathering thing. I do a lot more talking when it's like one on one. That's when I really be in my bag, because I be saying some things sometimes, and it just come in the moment. When everything is scripted, it's just like, but whenever you have like a conversation with somebody, and you're able to get the context, and based off experience, I don't take myself outside of everything and just look at the entire situation, without swaying like one way, because there's a way that the world operates, and then there's a way that we like to operate. And so if you can, life is just about balance. If you can find a balance with anything in life, then I think you'll be all right. But if you leaning all the way this way, leaning all the way that way, it's just going to always just be, it's never going to be a balance. You're going to find yourself in situations and a lot of disappointments. So if you can just balance everything out and understand how the world works, understand how relationships work, people work. I mean, people flake. I mean, people change. Um, People go through things. It could be a job. It can be something that happens in your marriage that may alter that person. So you got a whole new person. But if you understand that before you get there, then whenever it arrives, you're not thrown completely off. You've already told yourself on the front end, like, look, if this ever happens, this is how I'm gonna handle that situation. And somebody that's self-aware and understand how the world works and how people work, then you can be able to speak that, like, look, I know we're gonna run into some things, but this is what I'm gonna absolutely do. And as far as that list, I think people should have some things that they just not going to forward on. It may be maybe somebody could be a pedophile, somebody could uh, have gone to jail. I think people should have a list, but you got to be realistic about it. And if you're realistic about it, then I think that you can be able to work with anybody because the things you need, you don't really find that out until you got some experience or you just self-aware. I mean, like, you'd be surprised what it is that you appreciate about a person until you reach those hard times and or those challenging moments and that person was there for you. But you're not gonna know what that looked like because you ain't never experienced it. So it's just one of those things that you just gotta. I mean, everybody settles. It's just how much you're gonna settle for. If you that's that 70% you was talking about. I mean, that 30% might be a strong 30%. So it might not even be really 70% because that 30% is probably what most people don't even have in life. And that's good character and integrity. If you got somebody like that and start there, then you can start adding things. And then maybe some of them other things can be altered or changed or even maybe you can deal with it because there are just some rare people that have good character, good integrity, that's hard workers. Same thing like health. It's if you look at the world, everybody's overweight. There are so many people that have fear. There are so many people who not willing to take risks. These people are rare. So whenever you understand what your list should entail, and you find somebody that is rare, you might want to go ahead and start building with that. Like, the looks fade, but so many people can't even get over the fact that this person is not the ideal person who I thought that I was going to marry. So if you really start narrowing it down and focusing on what really matters, then I think you're gonna die a much happier person because at
Can
least
I brag? Oh,
at
I'm
least
sorry. My
at
bad.
least the person was by your bedside. When you start chasing everything else, man, it's a little suspect.